As someone who's been playing Xbox now for almost 20 years, I am a huge fan of the Microsoft product. I think it is a wonderful console and something that just puts out a ton of great games. And sure, a lot of people gravitate towards Sony or Nintendo, myself included, but there are a plethora of fantastic games released for the Xbox. What's going on, everybody? Jay here. The channel is Square Pegs, and we are talking video games. If you're new around here and haven't seen us before, why don't you give us a subscription? That way you can check us out for a couple of weeks. Does you no harm, and if you don't dig what we do, you can unsubscribe at that time. Today, though, I want to give you my 10 go-to games from the Xbox One.
Take a heaping helping of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, cram them into a blender with a healthy dose of humor, and you get the fantastically brilliant Immortals Fenyx Rising from Ubisoft. This game came out of nowhere for me. I was told by my friends Chris from the Game Dad Show and the immortal John Hancock how brilliant this game was, and still I was just like, maybe I'll pick it up eventually. And when I did, my mind was absolutely blown. This game looks and plays magnificently well, and it manages to tell a coherent and frequently hilarious story that games strive to do and frequently fall on their face to get those jokes across. Immortals just feels like it does it effortlessly. This is one of those games that I just kind of put in and I play, and it just picks up and goes effortlessly for me, like I said. This game just feels breezy, simple, and wonderful to play. It's a go-to where you don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. You can just get into it and have a blast. Viewers that have been around for a little while know of my love of baseball and how much I really enjoy the MLB The Show series. And getting MLB The Show 21 on the Xbox is such a weird treat. I mean, this is a game developed by PlayStation Studios. You get an unskippable movie at the start of the game showing you the circle, cross, square, and triangle animations, saying it's from PlayStation, which is really weird to see on an Xbox. But I am so happy it's here because MLB The Show is probably the best sports game being produced today. Sports games to me are like candy. I go back to them. I love them. They're kind of addicting to me because I want to play them all the time. I want to keep moving my seasons forward. And MLB The Show 21 is no different. You get unbelievably huge graphical upgrades on this game. It looks magnificent. And it plays signature show style perfectly well. Everything is ridiculously balanced. Everything is in tune, and everything just hums along. MLB The Show 21 is on Game Pass, so I don't have the physical version of it. One of two games on the list that will be a digital download for me right now, but I love MLB The Show.
Pitch on its way. Here's a shot to left field and deep. Look at this. Gone over the monster and out onto Lansdowne Street.
My second go-to from Game Pass is Forza Horizon 4. I'm pretty close to the beginning, which is weird that this is a go-to, but it's something I can pick up and play for 5 minutes and then put down. This is a great lunch break kind of game. I like being able to drive around the Horizon Festival and find a race or a challenge to complete, play it for a few minutes, and then shut the game down and not worry about it. It is snack food gaming, and I love that. As a huge fan of Star Wars, there are just certain games that draw me in because of my adoration of the lore and the universe of Star Wars, and I keep coming back to them and keep playing them repeatedly. And number one for me on the Xbox is Jedi Fallen Order. Now, when you're looking at this, if you've played Fallen Order, you're going to see it and you're going to say, but you're right at the beginning, how is this a go-to? This is the second time I've purchased this game. The one I used to have was on the PlayStation, and I've gone back and started again here on the Xbox because I wanted to have something I could play on my Series X that looked and felt like Star Wars come to life to me. Jedi Fallen Order is rich in history and lore from the Star Wars universe and kind of paints a picture of what life was like between the Jedi Purge and the start of A New Hope. This is a fantastic game, and if you have any love of Star Wars and you have a belief that Star Wars games can be amazing single-player experiences without microtransactions, without online components, without anything like that, this is the game for you. I love Jedi Fallen Order. It's a deep study into Star Wars lore, mythos, and history, and it plays fantastically well.
You know, I've been alone for a while now. Without any purpose, just hiding. There's no way to live. Not for a Jedi.
The newest game on this list is Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and the reason this one is a go-to is because, honestly, I dove right back into it, excited to play it again, despite the fact that I have already probably put 300 or 400 hours into Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3 on my Xbox 360. I am ready to experience the majesty of N7 Day again. I am ready to live the life of Commander Shepard and to pilot and captain the Normandy and I love Mass Effect. I'm kind of at a loss for words because of how great this game is. This is one of the best series ever created. This is BioWare at its absolute finest, and this is something that I think anyone who loves RPGs should play. This game is brilliant. It does still have some of the warts and some of the bugs that were present in the original Mass Effect, which I kind of like that they retained those. That feels like something kind of magical to me. It's definitely worth checking out if you've never played it before, especially because it's fantastic. And even if you have played it before, trust me, you're not going to be upset. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is wonderful.
Why take it out on these people? They didn't do anything to you or the Batarians.
Didn't do anything, aside from colonizing a world that could have been ours.
As a longtime fan of the Assassin's Creed series, Assassin's Creed Valhalla was a game that I was eagerly anticipating when it got announced. I loved Odyssey, but the idea of being able to play as a Viking in Valhalla was just so intriguing to me. And there's so much that Valhalla does well. And I know a lot of people have some issues with some of the implementation and some of the design choices for the game, and that's fine. But for me, the go-to for this is the story that the game tells and the never-ending series of quests all over the landscape of England that you're able to participate in. I love the character of Eivor. I think she or he is wonderful, whichever gender you try to play. I think they're fantastic. But the characters surrounding Eivor and the townspeople around you just make this game feel alive and just unique, unlike any other Assassin's Creed game. The Assassin's Creed games, to me, continue to evolve in slow but steady drips that just make the series feel natural and exciting to me to play whenever a new one comes out.
Can we do a bit of training?
Absolutely.
When we stop and think about the signature fighting games of our childhood, I would wager that most people are going to go immediately to either Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. But for me, it was Fatal Fury and Samurai Showdown. I'm an SNK fighting game fan. Those are the ones that I hang my hat on. Those are the ones that I adore more than anything else. And Samurai Showdown is near the top of the list for me for perfect fighting games. And the update on the Xbox One is magnificent. This game looks incredible. The character models are stunning. The fighting mechanics are picture perfect, and the updated frame rate on the Xbox Series X, which is what you're seeing here, so I'm cheating a little bit on that one. Actually, all the games in this video are on the Series X. But the updated frame rate for Samurai Showdown on the Series X just takes this game to the next level. As a fan of classic fighting games and as a fan of Samurai Showdown for decades, that is what makes this a go-to for me. To me, a go-to game is one of those set-it-and-forget-it autopilot games that you just kind of inherently understand how to play, and for me, one of those signature games is Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. Everyone knows how to play Pac-Man. Everyone kind of understands the general concept. I think it's kind of DNA now. We get it. But this game takes that core concept of what Pac-Man is and how it plays and tweaks it just a bit to make it a little bit more challenging and a little more exciting. The game is properly difficult at times and is a ton of fun to play. It puts all kinds of different challenges ahead of you, tosses in new gameplay modes and different aspects of how Pac-Man plays to make things unique, entertaining, and challenging. It is an absolutely wonderful game, and it can be scored for pennies on the dollar nowadays. It also comes with 3 arcade downloads for Classic Pac-Man, Galaga, and Dig Dug. NHL 21 is my time sink game, kind of like MLB The Show. It's something I adore. I've loved the NHL series since 1994. You guys have probably seen my videos talking about my love of the NHL series. And EA continues to make a game that I'm going to continue to buy because I love hockey, and it is the only option I have for hockey nowadays outside of things like Super Blood Hockey. But NHL 21 does a lot of things right. The gameplay is a lot smoother. It seems to have found that right balance of what stride and glide is on the ice, as opposed to just having your avatar go way too fast for what the situation calls for. Much like the show, this is one where I just want to keep playing and keep competing and keep beating my seasons. And in particular, I do that in the Be a Pro mode. I have a lot of fun creating a character and kind of going through the minors and working my way up to the NHL in this game. It's a ton of fun.
Lindholm's looking around for somebody to fight. He's going to have to go and fill the dance card somewhere else. You can hear that hit.
I think I've mentioned repeatedly in the past that I am a sucker for a compilation title, and Rare Replay is kind of the ultimate compilation title. This game has so many playable games on it. And because it's the ultimate compilation title, that is what makes it a go-to for me. It's something that I can change my mind on. I want to play something action-oriented? Give me Banjo-Kazooie. I want a fighting game? I've got Killer Instinct. The possibilities are kind of endless with Rare Replay, and they're all fantastic. There's 30 games to play out of the box on this game, and all of them are fantastic in their own way. Yeah, some of them have aged a little bit poorly, and I probably wouldn't play Slalom given the choice, but there is so much greatness on here. Hidden classics that people have overlooked, like Grab by the Ghoulies and Cameo Elements of Power, classics like Banjo-Kazooie, Jet Force Gemini, and Conker's Bad Fur Day, and fantastic sports games like RC Pro-Am and Cobra Triangle. The game is amazing. Rare Replay is a fantastic compilation, and everyone should own this in their Xbox collection.
All right, there you have it, my friends. 10 of my go-to games for the Xbox One. Not necessarily hidden gems or anything like that, just games that I get a lot of value of that I have gone back to repeatedly and played over and over again. I think on the list, my two favorites are probably Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Rare Replay, but do not sleep on NHL 21, Samurai Showdown, or Jedi Fallen Order. All fantastic games, all 10 of them. You can't really go wrong with them. They're all a ton of fun. Let me know in the comments down below what your go-to Xbox One games are, because I would love to check them out. My Xbox One library is constantly growing, and now as a collector is the time to be buying Xbox One games because they are on clearance prices across the board. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And like I said at the start of the video, if you are new around here, why don't you give us a subscription, stick around for a couple of weeks and check us out. If it doesn't work out and it's not something you enjoy, you can leave at any time. It's not going to be any hard feelings. I would just love for you to stick around and just see what I have to offer. If you particularly enjoy the channel and are in a position to help us grow, be sure to check out our Patreon or check out our merchandise links down below in the pinned comment, as well as all of my social links down below. I'm pretty active on Twitter and Instagram, and I would love to have you guys join in the conversation. Until next time, I've been Jay. Thank you for being here. And until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.